What's up? What's up? Another day, another opportunity. What's up, my boxing family? I was just looking at a few videos, checking out Facebook, man, and I got a pimple. Checking out Facebook, and I just had to do this video, man, because my man Khavalov, no matter if he's not American and the fans are against him because I speak English and most of you guys are for the American. But I like Ward, man. I like him. I think he's an excellent boxer. But early on in his career, I was always suspicious because he's cut so small. He's not a big guy. He's a cut pretty slim, and he's not muscular. He's not really built muscular. And I think your body character plays a lot in the way you fight. And early on, I was just curious of him because amateurs, don't mean that you're going to be a good pro. And I remember when I first took notice of him, it was because his amateur career was so good and people was talking about him. And it was at a time where him and the other few young prospects were being promoted at the same time, coming from Olympics. And as he grew and turned pro and went on with his professional career, what? I'm doing a video, hold on. So, as he went on with his professional career, I realized that, making that transformation, a lot of people can't do it. And he wasn't fighting anybody for a long time to really put himself in danger. And when they did that Super 6 thing, he fought a few tough Americans, and they were washed up. I think the American that was washed up, or the African American, and everybody else was foreigners. And we already know their styles can't match with an American boxer when it comes to Muhammad Ali type of boxing, on your feet, moving around. The foreigners can't mess with a pure boxer. It's just been that way for a long time. So I really couldn't give him a whole lot of credit from that Super 6, except beating some real tough foreigners. And the thing about foreigners, they're usually older than our young men, and they're usually tough, stronger. But Ward had proved that he could get by some pretty tough, strong men in the Super 6. But it didn't prove anything to me because, it did prove something. It didn't prove to me that he was a legit boxing master. It just showed me that he was good enough to outdo some stronger fighters, but not greater boxers. That's what I want to see. You beat a boxing master who's also strong. Not the ones that he fought was kind of old news anyway. They wasn't older, but old news. So this guy Khavalov, he didn't impress me no more than a strong foreigner, non-American, which are usually stronger, older, and they eat better maybe. So they stronger guys. But Khavalov didn't impress me with his boxing skills and his dexterity when he fought the old head from Philadelphia, B-Hop. So I didn't really think Khavalov was going to be any proving ground for Andre Ward. However, they fought. They fought, and um, the fight was a great fight for Ward, but it still didn't prove his ability to be a top boxer puncher. Somebody who can fight and who can box, who's strong and can box. Um, so that was my take on those two fighters. However, now that they fought and Andre won a lopsided fight, he won a fight based off of the fact that this guy Khavalov wasn't skilled enough to really take advantage of what he had did by dropping him. He wasn't skilled enough to really. He wasn't advanced enough in his boxing skill. He was just a tough foreigner, a tough non-American who was strong and healthy. However, after the fight, the way the media is carrying this on, and the hesitation in Ward and accepting the rematch, it's kind of showing that Khavalov is not respecting Ward. And if anybody fights me, spars me, or anything, one thing you're going to walk away from me is respect. You're never going to say, oh man, he wasn't nothing, and I'm ready to beat him. You might say, I think I can beat him. He's beatable, but he's a tough guy. You're going to always say that, you can feel that element of like he could hurt me or he can do something to me. It's never I fight him anytime after I already fought him. Now before you fight me, you might have that advantage, but nevertheless, need to say this is basically letting me know that Khavalov has less respect for him, and that's also letting me know that he didn't feel threatened by Ward, and Ward must be scared. Ward must be a little conscious of the fact that he couldn't compete with this guy. And when I was watching the fight on a physical level, on an athletic level, skill-wise, he did what he had to do to win this fight. Andre Ward and his trainer is excellent mental competitors. Competition. They're excellent in figuring this chess match out. Something like Mayweather and his father. They really good at figuring people out and getting back on track. So Andre Ward, his trainer saved his life. However, for Khavalov to have this disrespect for him is just showing me that Ward is scared. Whether or not he should be or shouldn't be, that's here no said. We're going to find that when they put the gloves on, when they fight again. I think it's going to be the same fight. Ward can actually go and outbox him. But what bothers me about this fight, Ward and his trainer can go outbox him. But what bothers me about this fight is that Khavalov has gotten under his skin. And Ward come in there nervous and make that mistake and not stay obedient to his trainer and not stay focused and not fight like he got to do to win the fight. I think if he go in there and he go in there nervous and submitted, he gonna end up submitting himself to Khavalov. Khavalov got him mentally. This is what I see. My word ain't coming out right how I'm seeing it, but basically that's my prediction. Andre Ward, I always give it two ways because You never know who's fighting, who gonna win, because you ain't fighting me, so I can't say who's gonna win. Anything can happen in a boxing match. Only thing I can say is how somebody can win. Khavalov can win this mentally. He's already intimidated the heck out of Ward. I think Ward is scared like a young buck. And I think Ward, if he goes in scared like that, Khavalov will have a great opportunity. Khavalov is experienced. He's getting more and more experience. He may be even more experienced than Ward because of Bernard Hopkins. Going in there with Bernard Hopkins and not getting hurt by Bernard Hopkins is a feat all in itself. Ward never fought anybody like Bernard Hopkins, even though old Bernard Hopkins. Bernard is a crafty old veteran who can hurt you. He's hurt plenty world champions. So, my prediction is that if Ward goes in scared, he can get beat. And if it won't be a knockout, it'll be a stoppage. And then, he was already talking about retiring after that fight. Retiring and, it took a long time for him to give him the rematch. Oh, man. I think he's scared. But, on the other hand, if Khavalov, the way Ward can win is if Khavalov come in there with no new tricks. He come in there with the same old lame strongman competition boxing, and then he die out like he did, trying to chase Ward around. Ward is an active fighter, man. That dude, he burns a lot of energy. If you can keep up with Ward, that right there is a whole nother fight. You got to keep up with him, and you got to stop him from kicking your butt. But Khavalov caught him, knocked him down. And that says a lot. When somebody wins so much and he get knocked down, he's scared now. He's a scared, what Mike Tyson say? He's a scared little boy. Is that how he called Mayweather? He said he's a scared little, what did he say? He's a scared little man. He's a scared little man. I think Ward is a scared little man. A scared little American. Peace.